Hey, Allison Verhalen here, and I recently led a discussion at my local Chamber of Commerce, one of our meetings, about using Twitter for small businesses. And I did a whole bunch of research in preparation for leading that discussion. And so I had all this research and was like, well, why don't I put it into a blog post? So if you want to go look at the blog post, I recommend it because I doubt I will remember everything. So it is at allisonverhalen.com/marketing Monday. It's right at the top, and it will be for the next month or week, I mean. So yeah, it's called 6 things you need to know about using Twitter for your small business. So the first thing is there are millions of users on Twitter, 261 million users worldwide. 69 million of those users are here in the US. So regardless of whether you're targeting people here in the US or all over the world, all over the country, whatever, it's too widely used for you to ignore Twitter. So you really need to get on Twitter and learn how to use it effectively for your business. The other question is age range, like who's really on Twitter, because not everyone is on Twitter. In general, like teenagers and senior citizens are not on Twitter, but pretty much everyone in between is. I think most people on Twitter are between the ages of 20 and 50, roughly speaking. So if you're targeting anyone in that age group, you really need to be on Twitter because that's where they are. Twitter also, people search on Twitter just like they do on Google. I heard one person at this discussion I led was saying she's not on Twitter, but she has a website because she knows that will make sure she comes up in searches. People are searching on Twitter too. More than 2 billion searches happen on Twitter every single day. So if you have a website and you're doing other things online to increase your SEO, social media is part of your SEO. So consider getting on Twitter because not everyone is using Google to conduct searches. Sometimes they're on social media looking for what they need. So that's another thing to consider. And using Twitter for your small business is essential. 83% of users on Twitter said that providing customer service on Twitter is essential. If something goes wrong, if they have a question, if they want to reach out to you, they expect to be able to reach you on Twitter and they expect you to respond right away. So providing customer service, not just reaching customers, that's also important on Twitter, but using it to provide customer service and maintain and solidify those relationships is essential. And Twitter can really help you out with that. 93% of users on Twitter who already follow a small to medium sized business said they plan to buy from that business in the future. So followers are not everything, but they can be very important to your brand if you're effective at getting followers and getting them to really like your stuff on Twitter. 63% of users who were following a brand on Twitter said they were following them because they had already made a purchase, and that they made that purchase because of something they saw on Twitter. So again, it can be really influential if you know what you're doing on Twitter. So if you're not on Twitter yet, consider getting on it because it's too important not to invest in. And you don't have to spend a lot of money. There's Twitter advertising, which is very cost effective, and it's very effective. It's actually 11% more effective than TV advertisements that are filmed during live events. So all these big companies that are spending millions of dollars on ads to air during the Super Bowl and during the Oscars and all these big events, you can actually get more out of your Twitter ad for way less money than those companies are getting out of the millions that they're pumping into their ads. So social media is like the secret weapon of the small to medium sized business. When you can't afford to spend millions on TV ads, just do a little bit of really heavily targeted social media marketing and social media advertising, and you are good to go. And for getting the most out of your Twitter, tweets with GIFs get, I think it's 55% more engagement than tweets without them. And tweets with video get 10 times more engagement than tweets without video. So even though Twitter is great and content is great, obviously I'm a writer, I love words, but I still can't avoid the fact that we are visual creatures and we see things visually and we think visually and we learn really well visually, and we're much more attracted to images and videos than we are to words. So you have to be willing to use that in every aspect of your content marketing, in Twitter, in Facebook, in LinkedIn, wherever it is you are on social media, you have to be willing to use videos and images. So those are my tips. I have a lot more tips on my blog that I've covered in the past, so feel free to search that and get everything you can out of it. If you have any more questions, you know how to reach me. I'm at AllisonVerhalen.com. Go forth and happy marketing, guys.